Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Sohn. Today we're going to be graphing some systems of equations and figuring out the solutions from the graph. So let's get into it. So for all of these things, we're going to have two equations, and I highly recommend getting some sort of ruler as well. And you would hope that these equations are in y equals mx plus b, or minus b in this case, format. And I'm going to be doing these graphs in two different colors to aid ourselves in our answer. I'm going to be doing it in blue for the top equation, and I'm going to be doing it in the steady old black for the bottom one, so that you can see that these are two different lines. So for the first one, y equals 2x minus 3, that has a y-intercept of -3, and it has a slope of 2 over 1. So this first dot, the -3 is right here, and then we go up by 2 and over by 1. And we should connect the dots with a straight edge, because accuracy is going to be important, so much so that you might want to consider doing your slope a few times so that you know what is going on. There's my first line. And the blue looks a little weak. It is a highlighter. Figured a marker would do it well. I'll highlight it with purple too. Look at that. Gives you time to make your line look nice too. Here we got -3x plus 2, so the y-intercept there is 2. And we have to go down by 3 and over by 1. So from this point we go down by 1, 2, 3, over by 1. Down by 3, over by 1. We get this line right here. And the main actual question is going to be solve each by finding the point of intersection between the two lines. So we are looking for this dot right there in between them, which is at 1 comma -1 in this case. That would be the official solution where those two things intersect, which is why accuracy is very important, which is why I have been using a ruler, because my hand is not steady enough. All right? So I'm going to be skipping around here because this is going to be some of your assignment. We got y equals -x plus 1. So a y-intercept of 1 here. Top one in blue. Top one in blue. Here we go for blue. Y-intercept of 1. And it has a slope of -x. Well, if the slope's -x, that is down 1 over 1, because that's like -1x, and down 1 over 1, and so on and so forth. Your graph would look something like this. And you might want to consider doing the dots, so it makes it a little more accurate. And then we got x equals 3. Well, x equals 3 is not a y equals mx plus b equation, but it is an x equals, so we're going to go to the x line and find 1, 2, 3, and it would be going straight up and down here. So I'm going to try and highlight it in straight up and down. Scribble, 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 scribble. And where do they intersect? Right there. So this is the line we got. I'm going to try and highlight it for you a little bit more too. See what yellow does. This might, that did nothing. That did absolutely nothing. So this dot right here is at 1, 2, 3, -2. That is the intersection at 3, -2, and that is our official solution. All right? So you might be thinking, well, this is easy. I can do this. And you are probably correct on the majority of problems. On the majority of problems that are in y equals mx plus b format, you could probably handle no problem at all. And we're going to do one more like that. Maybe two. We'll do this one right here, number 7. And until they're not in y equals mx plus b format, then it's fine. You can graph that y-intercept at -3, down by 3. And then this slope is rise over run, up 4, and down over by, right by 4, down over by 3. So we got to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, over by 1, 2, 3, and connect our dots. And then we have y equals 1. Well, y equals, you find the y-axis, and you go over to the 1 on the y-axis, and it is going to be a horizontal line. So this is kind of like y equals mx plus b, except the slope is 0. So it's going to be a horizontal line here, like so. Now the question is, where do they intersect? Right there, which is at 3, 1. 3, 1, and we're done. With the easy ones, All right, the harder ones start on the next page. And the next page we are going to. Now these aren't much harder, but it's really like 2 problems in one. So 9 and 10, those are both friendly. Y equals mx plus b, y equals mx plus b on all of those. As soon as you don't have y equals mx plus b, that you have to do an extra problem first, okay? On those problems, you have to first move the 5x over. So how do we move the 5x over? Well, if I have 5x plus y equals 4, I would have to subtract 5x from both sides. And when I subtract 5x from both sides, I end up with y equals negative 5x plus 4. They don't combine. It's just negative 5x plus 4. That's it. That's all they can do. And then it is in y equals mx plus b. So now I could graph that with a y-intercept of 4, and then I could go down by 5 and over by 1. Because that's my slope, negative 5 over 1. And I can connect my dots, and I can get at least one line. But I need to graph both, and I did it in black. I'm going to do the next one in blue. So that was one line. That's the black line right here. But I still need to graph this other line to figure out where they intersect. So if I had x minus y equals 2, it's also not in y equals mx plus b format. I need to get it there. Well, move the x's over. If the x's are positive, you have to subtract them. This does not equal like 1x. This equals negative x and 2. You write what you see. You see a negative x, you see a 2, you write negative x plus 2. Now we have like a negative 1 here in front of the y. So in order to get rid of the negative 1, you have to divide by negative 1 across the border. Everything gets divided by negative 1. Y equals negative 1 divided by negative 1, which is 1x. Negative 1 divided by negative 1 is 1. 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2. And there is our other line that we have to graph, which I promised would be in blue. Y-intercept is negative 2, dot, and a slope of up 1 over 1. I can pretty much see my solution. I feel like we've had this answer before today. And that looks like the answer is right there, which is 1 comma negative 1 is your official solution. Okay? So I'm going to do one more of these to show and really reiterate how to solve for y, because that's the part that I feel like you're struggling. I might do 2 more, but I'm pretty sure there's another video on this. We got so many videos. I bet you're tired of videos. Here we go. Number 12. It's right there. It's convenient. We got x minus 4y equals negative 4. If I take the x and the minus 4y equal negative 4, I'm just rewriting it. I need to move the x over. If it's positive, I have to subtract it. So I'm going to subtract the x from both sides. Negative 4y equals negative x minus 4. Then divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. Y would equal negative 1 divided by negative 4, which is 1/4 x. Negative 4 divided by negative 4, which is 1. One equation down. I still haven't dealt with this one. I got to do that one now. 5x minus 4y equals 12. Subtract the 5x from both sides. Negative 4y equals negative 5x minus, not minus, plus 12. And if we had negative 4y equals negative 5x plus 12, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. And the y's would cancel, all the negative 4's would cancel. Negative 5 divided by negative 4, negative divided by negative is a positive 5 over 4. X, 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. And we have our equation 1 and equation 2. We needed both in the right format. So equation 1 I'm going to do in blue, and then equation 2 I will do in black. So here we have a y-intercept of 1 dot and a slope of up 1 over 4. Up 1 over 4 dot. Doing it in blue. Get it together. There we go. Blue. And then equation 2. We got a y-intercept of negative 3. Down by 3. And a slope of 5 over 4. So I have to go up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over by 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got our point of intersection there. We are sharing a point, which indicates to me that that is the solution where they intersect at that guy right there. That is the solution. The question I have is, what is that point? 1, 2, 3, 4, up by 2, 4, comma 2. That is the official answer. All right, so we're going to have 3 days of this sort of thing, I believe. No, well, I got to go back and check my notes. How many days we got of this? Not that many. So we're going to be doing equations and inequalities. So it's going to kind of blend pretty soon because the equations and the inequalities look very, very similar. Okay? That's going to do it for this one. Until next time, stay positive, and I will see everybody later. Bye, guys.